Framlingham College is a school that is over 150 years old, and at the heart of the school is our chapel. And I'm the privileged to be the chaplain here, but we obviously came up with a few challenges as we try to bring this old, beautiful building into the modern age. When students look into a hymn book, they look down, they swallow their words, and they almost fall asleep in the pages. And I had this idea that if we could lift their eyes up and lift their voices up and open their vocal cords, we'd get more sound out of them. And to do that, we wanted to bring in those projectors, put the words on a big screen. We looked at a whole lot of leading market providers for services like this, for IT and technology in sacred spaces like churches. And AV Unit came up trumps. I made contact with Darren, great guy, we got on very well, and within no time it was clear that between him and I we could find a solution. The challenge was we've got a sacred building here, over 150 years old, listed building. You can't just go put up screens everywhere. You can't just drill holes in the walls and do whatever you want to. We had to find a way to project the hymns and the images onto a wall without damaging the space. And AV Unit did that brilliantly. So they designed a system where you've got the projectors hidden behind a pillar, almost out of sight. And what they do is project the hymn or the image onto one of our walls, and it's been a massive success. Some of these walls are, 30 inches thick, and you can't take the cables all around the outside of the wall. And so AV Unit very kindly then agreed to drill 1 or 2 holes in very discreet places to sink the cables through the walls. But for the most part, we actually just dropped the cables underneath the carpets around hidden pillars. And as you look around, you can almost not see a single cable, which was something I didn't think about initially. I just had this image of these projectors with lovely images. But then it became clear that we've got meters and meters of cabling. And AV Unit did very well to hide those cables and yet still convince me that cables are needed. You've got a chapel like this with 200 in the nave, and then you've got another 200 sitting in the annex, which is the bit on the side. And there are pillars in the way, and students couldn't normally see the preacher or see the hymns from those areas. So we've got AV Unit to put in lovely, large TV monitors on the walls, also discreetly placed in the various hidden areas. And very cleverly, what AV Unit did is they just put a discrete camera in the corner behind one of the pillars, which then records the consecration of the Eucharist and then projects it on the TV monitors in the annex. And so everybody can see what's going on. And this works just as well if we've got a guest speaker coming in, the bishop coming and preaching. There's no one that can say we couldn't see him. Darren and the team put in this little unit which literally just switches between TV monitor and camera. When your laptop switches on, you just connect it to the laptop. So a system that was easy for me to use and easy for any speaker in chapel to use, but still able to work live when you've got people in the chapel. I can't tell you how grateful I am to Darren and AV Unit for what they've done, because when I came here, my vision was clearly to bring this chapel into the modern age and use technology to project images and to project the hymns. I came unstuck because the governors didn't want projectors and screens and drilling in the chapel. The senior management didn't want it, and so I had to do a lot of convincing in the early stages. And Darren and AV Unit were brilliant, because what they did is they just allowed me to run with ideas, and where possible just tidied up my ideas into practical solutions. We're very happy. The governors are massively happy with the end result. And personally, I've been very impressed with AV Unit. We've been very grateful with the service and with the tech that's been on offer.